Isn't it surprising that cities of tomorrow belong to today's youth, but they're the ones often left out from conversations shaping these spaces? Hello, my name is Divit, a high schooler presenting the future of urban commons with an intention to transform public spaces into vibrant hubs for the next generation. Let me begin with my work in public space design. Recently, I worked with an NGO to develop a sustainable interactive playscape for children and pets. Our task was to create a shared space for children and pets with features of affordability, sustainability, and also structural safety. I worked with a team of interior designers, architects, and engineers to use bamboo as a sturdy frame and tires as a medium of play. So here are a few more images encompassing the features of the design. I used AutoCAD and SketchUp to create these images. Another project I worked on was for an international design competition in the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. So here the task was to design a public playscape with green features, water features, and which would also encourage play from a variety of age groups. I decided to design the Ramagundanhalli Government School playscape. So here the challenge was different. For the school children to play, I also had to include features for the local community who use the space in the evening hours. So this was the final design. As you can see, right at the center is a butterfly, which symbolizes a transformation from this bare ground into Project Oasis. So here the question was, designing these beautiful spaces is quite simple. But how do we actually make people use them? So let me give you a problem that cities of today are facing. Previously, cities used to be filled of children and others socializing, interacting, and hanging out, playing sports. But now, these spaces feel quieter. Is it because these people have disappeared? Well, obviously not, right? It's just that these people have made the digital world their playground. Due to the rise of digitization, interaction has reduced. Let me give you a solution to this. So, it's not like the youth and others are scared of outdoor spaces. It's not like they dislike outdoor spaces. It's just that they find the digital world more rewarding and more satisfying. So the solution to this is not to reject digitization. It's not to bring down digitization. It's actually to incorporate digitization and accept it and bring it and incorporate it meaningfully into urban commons. So let me give you an example of where digitization has worked tremendously well. So before, cafes used to have boring, static interiors. These spaces were just used for short visits, and the digital presence was extremely limited. So the youth never found these spaces interactive. They never wanted to spend time in them, and they didn't see them as a place to interact. But now, I'm sure you've heard of a Starbucks, Third Wave, Blue Tokai, or Cafe Coffee Day. High-speed Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, and abundant plug points are just the norm. These cafes have reimagined the experience of these spaces, creating areas for co-working, collaboration, and long-time stays. They've become a youth community's hangout spot. So now, I'm sure if you'll enter one of these areas, you'll most definitely find a group of individuals or co-workers spending time together, collaborating, working. So now, I've given you a great example of where digitization has worked before. How do we replicate this digitization and how do we reimagine our future of urban commons? Let me give you an insight on where digitization is currently present in shaping urban commons. So firstly, there's an organization block by block, which aims to hand over the planning of urban commons directly to the end users, the community members. They use Minecraft, which is a 3D video game, to design these structures. This is a great idea, as not only does it foster collaboration as people work together to design these areas, but it also gives a sense of belonging and ownership to the people as they design these ideas and spaces. This encourages them to spend more time in these spaces. Another example of where digitization is being used in urban commons is with smart outdoor furniture. There's this company, Zufa Solar Ranches, which aims to create solar-powered smart benches. These smart benches have digital services inbuilt into them, which encourage longer stays, and they create digitally enabled public spaces. So, infrastructure like this blends the separation of indoor digitally connected spaces and outdoor spaces, which are currently not. So, these two examples are great concepts, but the potential we can reach by fully digitizing urban commons is much greater. Let me show you what's possible. So, many of you have either played, or I'm sure many of you have either heard of the game Pokemon Go. This game used augmented reality and real time location. It was globally successful and well known for its ability of bringing people together. So, the question is, can we have something like this in our cities? And I say yes, we definitely can through QR enabled citywide adventures. So, first of all, we can have scavenger trails where people follow clues through neighborhoods, learning about its historical significance. And they can also collaborate with others, such as friends or even strangers they meet along the way. We can also have environmental benefits where people can either report unsightly areas and also work together to clean up these unsightly areas. These can be incentivized with rewards and monetary rewards. So these features create a sense of community. They help people come together. So many of you would have either gone to a metro or bus station. Here, you must have noticed that people don't really interact with others. They're generally on their phones, digitally engrossed. So how do we provide a basis for interaction where these people can come together? Through microgames and transit spaces. We can have multiplayer game panels installed here where two or more people can play against each other. We can also have digital quizzes, either about the local information or general knowledge in general. So these ideas aim to create moments of interaction which helps bring the community together. So the next idea to digitize urban commons is through social pods. These ideas aim to create co-working spaces which help people interact and work in digitally connected environments right in the outdoors. So a few features of these social pods could be sound dampened rooms. These sound dampened rooms can help create private areas for collaboration or study. We can also have the integration of technology in these social pods, such as screens, projectors, tablets, and all of these can be connected to your personal devices. We can also include a sustainable edge to this pod as an entirety by including solar panels, creating a self-sustaining pod. The next problem the world is facing is that the youth and others are not involved in physical activity. As we all know, the benefits of physical activity are great, not only being mental well-being, but also health and longevity. So, how do we incentivize people to come outside and get involved in physical activity? We need to make physical activity feel interactive, fun, and social. We can include smart equipment. In these digitized outdoor gymnasiums, we can include smart equipment tracking progress, like calories burned, reps, or steps taken. We can also include AR visuals accessible by QR codes, showing and projecting of how we need to do a workout or what to do next. We can also include gamified challenges like how many push-ups can you do, how many push-ups can you do, and this can be displayed on a leaderboard. And all of this can be integrated into an app for progress. For like, let's just say how many calories have I burned in the week, or how many steps have I taken in the week. So finally, the question is, how can these ideas be realistically implemented in India? So for India, there are a various number of factors we need to consider. First of all, low maintenance. We need to encourage the local government to maintain these spaces. Through solar-powered systems, durable materials, and modular parts, the local government can be incentivized to take care of these areas, as if something breaks, the modular parts will make it easy for them to replace them. Next, scalability. As India is extremely vast, We need to have repeatable designs to replicate them in every single city. Also, we can include locally produced components to reduce the transportation costs. Next, they need to be climate resilient. As India has a very rapidly changing climate, such as hot, cold summer, or humid, dry, or summer dry, we need to use all weather materials and IP rated electronics for water resistant. And lastly, cost effectiveness. So, such as the solar panels in our social pods, these renewable energy sources can reduce long term costs. Also, the value of these smart features we pose are much greater than the expenditure to implement. So, in conclusion, let's design cities where the youth don't want to escape but stay to engage. Thank you.